The big meeting room on Nexus Prime was very quiet. Too quiet. Ambassador Wu Jin from Earth stood at the center of the room. Around him sat representatives from 12 different alien species. Their eyes watched him with cold looks. Some showed hate. Others showed disgust. Wu Jin held a small device in his hand. It contained Earth's final message to the Galactic Council. 3 years of talks had led to this moment. 3 years of trying to be friends with aliens who saw humans as dirt under their feet. "I speak for all humans today," Wu Jin said. His voice was calm, but everyone could hear the anger hiding underneath. "We came to you in peace. We asked to join your galactic family. We followed your rules. We paid your taxes. We stayed in the small corner of space you gave us." The Korthak war chief, Graxon, made a sound like laughing. His big body was covered in thick armor. Sharp teeth showed when he smiled. "Humans always complain. You got more than you deserved." Beside him sat Merchant Queen Vel-Ara from the Villani people. Her skin was blue and smooth. Gold rings covered her long fingers. "Your species is still young. You need to learn your place in the galaxy." Wu Jin looked at both of them. "Our place? You mean the place where human ships cannot go to? 90% of galactic space? Where human traders pay triple taxes? Where our children cannot attend galactic schools?" "Yes," said Graxon. "That place." Back on Earth, in a deep bunker under Seoul City, Yijin watched the meeting on her screen. She was Earth's top military person. Her job was to keep Earth safe. But the aliens had made that job very hard. Around her, other Earth leaders watched too. General Taeho, who ran Earth's spy network, Dr. Sora, who studied alien technology, President Yanho, who led all of Earth. They all knew what was coming next. "The new law you passed yesterday was the last straw," Wu Jin continued. His hands were steady, but his voice got harder. "You banned human ships from the Orion trade routes. Those routes are how we get food and medicine to our colonies. Without them, millions of humans will die." "Not our problem," said Vel-Ara. She looked at her long nails like she was bored. "Human colonies should not exist so far from Earth anyway. Come back to your homeworld. Stay there." "You want us to abandon 20 million people?" "We want you to know your place," Graxon said. He stood up. His huge body cast a shadow over Wu Jin. "Humans are weak. Humans are stupid. Humans should be grateful we let you live at all." Other aliens in the room made sounds of agreement. The Zenthari delegate clicked his bug-like mouth parts. The Morvac representative flashed the colors on her skin that meant yes. Even the usually quiet Acheron people nodded their heads. Wu Jin looked around the room. These aliens controlled thousands of worlds. Their technology was older than human history. Their armies had conquered entire star systems. But they all feared one thing. They feared that humans might become stronger than them. "For 3 years we tried to work with you," Wu Jin said. "We showed you our science. We shared our art. We opened our worlds to your people. And what did you do? You stole our ideas. You treated our people like slaves. You put more and more rules on us until we could barely breathe." "And it worked," said Graxon. "You humans learned to behave." "No," said Wu Jin. "We learned something else." He held up the small device. Every alien in the room looked at it. They knew what it meant. It was a formal message from Earth's government. In the bunker, Yijin stood up. "He's doing it," she said. The other leaders watched as their ambassador prepared to change everything. "We learned that you will never accept us as equals," Wu Jin said. "You will never treat us with respect. You will never stop trying to control us, so we are done trying." He pressed a button on the device. The message began to play. President Yanho's voice filled the room. To the Galactic Council, the recording said, "Earth formally withdraws from all treaties, agreements, and diplomatic relations with your organization. We no longer recognize your authority over human space or human people. We will no longer follow your laws or pay your taxes. This is effective immediately." The room exploded in noise. Aliens shouted in their own languages. Graxon roared like an angry animal. Vel-Ara stood up so fast her chair fell over. "You cannot do this," she screamed. "We will destroy you. We will crush your little world," Graxon added. "We will turn Earth into dust." But Wu Jin just smiled. It was not a nice smile. It was the smile of someone who knew a secret, a big secret. "You can try," he said. "But first, let me tell you something. For 3 years you thought you were teaching us our place. You thought you were making us weak. You thought wrong." He walked toward the door. Alien guards moved to stop him, but he held up his hand. "Check your laws. I still have diplomatic immunity. Touch me and you break your own rules." The guards looked confused. They looked at their leaders, but the leaders knew he was right. "While you were busy putting chains on us," Wu Jin continued, "we were busy learning about your weapons, learning about your ships, learning about your weaknesses." He reached the door and turned back. "You wanted to see what humans do when we're cornered? When we have no choice left, you're about to find out." "Empty threats," Graxon said. But his voice sounded less sure now. "Are they?" Wu Jin asked. "Your spy networks have been very quiet lately. Have you noticed? No reports from human space for 2 months. No intelligence about what we're building. No idea what we're planning." Several aliens looked worried now. They whispered to each other in their own languages. "You see, there's something about humans you never understood," Wu Jin said. "We're very good at pretending to be weak. We're very good at hiding what we can really do. And we're very, very good at making friends with people you think are your enemies." With that, he walked out the door. The room stayed quiet for a long moment. Then Graxon laughed. "Stupid humans, they think they can scare us." But Vel-Ara was not laughing. She was thinking about trade reports, about missing ships, about strange energy readings at the edge of known space. "Maybe we should be careful," she said. "Careful of what?" Graxon asked. "They have one world. We have thousands. They have a few old ships. We have the strongest fleets in the galaxy." "Then why?" asked a quiet voice from the back of the room. "Have 3 of our deep space monitors gone silent this week?" Everyone turned to look at the speaker. It was Ambassador Keth from the Morvac people. His skin was flashing colors that meant fear and worry. "What do you mean?" Vel-Ara asked. 3 monitoring stations, all in different sectors, all went dark at exactly the same time yesterday. No distress calls, no explanations, just gone. The room got very quiet again. But this time it was a different kind of quiet. It was the quiet of people who were starting to understand they might have made a very big mistake. On Earth, in the bunker, Hye-Jin smiled as she watched the confused aliens on her screen. She looked at the clock on the wall. In 6 hours, phase 1 would begin. The aliens thought they had been teaching humans a lesson. They were right. But the lesson wasn't the one they intended. The lesson was this: never back a human into a corner unless you're ready for what happens next. 6 months passed after the big meeting on Nexus Prime. The galaxy seemed quiet. Too quiet. Human ships had disappeared from all the major space routes. The busy trading posts where human merchants used to sell their goods now sat empty. The alien species that had forced Earth out of the Galactic Council were happy. They thought they had won. War Chief Graxon sat in his command center on the Korthak homeworld. Big screens showed maps of the galaxy. Red dots marked Korthak military bases. Blue dots showed their trade routes. Green dots were their allies. He smiled when he looked at the empty space where Earth's influence used to be. The humans learned their lesson, he told his officers. They ran back to their little world like scared children. His second-in-command, General Vex Tar, nodded. Our spies report no human activity outside their home system. No ships, no messages, nothing. Good, Graxon said. Maybe now the other young species will learn to respect their betters. On the Villani homeworld, Merchant Queen Vel-Ara was also pleased. She stood in her tower office looking out at the busy spaceport below. Ships from many worlds brought goods to trade, but no human ships were among them. Trade profits are up 15%, her assistant reported. Without human competition, our merchants control the entire outer rim markets. Velara touched one of her gold rings. It was made from metal that humans used to sell. Now her people mined it from asteroids that humans could no longer reach. The humans were always too emotional for business, she said. They cared too much about fairness. Now the smart species can make real money. But while the aliens celebrated, something else was happening. Something they could not see. Deep in space, far from any known star system, a secret meeting was taking place. The location was a small moon that did not appear on any galactic maps. Hidden factories covered its surface. Thousands of workers moved between the buildings like busy ants. In the main command center, Tejo studied reports from across the galaxy. He was Earth's head of intelligence. His job was to know everything about their enemies. For the past 6 months, he had been very busy. "Status report," he said to his team. "All surveillance networks are active," said Agent Myung. "We have eyes and ears in every major alien system." "The sleeper agents?" Tejo asked. "In position," replied Agent Dongmin. "Some have been living as aliens for over 5 years. They know their cover identities better than their real names." Tejo nodded. While the aliens thought humans had disappeared, the truth was very different. Human spies were everywhere. They worked in alien governments, they served on alien ships, they fixed alien computers, and they sent information back to Earth every day. "What about the production facilities?" Tejo asked. "Ahead of schedule," said Sora, the chief engineer. She had been working day and night for months. "We now have 17 hidden bases across the outer rim. Each one is producing ships and weapons using improved alien technology." Sora was proud of her work. The aliens had shared their technology with humans during the 3 years of fake friendship. They thought humans were too stupid to understand it fully. They were wrong. Not only had humans understood the alien technology, they had made it better. Much better. "Show me the new ships," Tejo said. Sora pressed some buttons on her control panel. The big screen showed a sleek black ship floating in space. It looked nothing like the bulky alien warships or the simple human vessels from before. "We call it the Shadow class," Sora explained. "It's completely invisible to alien sensors. Their best scanners cannot detect it even when it's right next to them." "Weapons?" asked Tejo. "Plasma cannons that can cut through alien armor like paper. Quantum torpedoes that can destroy a battleship with one hit. And something special. A virus program that can take control of alien ship computers." Tejo smiled. "How many do we have?" 300 completed. 500 more will be ready in 2 months. While Sora worked on ships and weapons, other humans were busy with different tasks. Kyung-ho was training the new fleet commanders. He had been a peaceful trader before the aliens betrayed Earth. Now he was learning to be a warrior. "Remember," he told his students, "the aliens think we are weak. They think we are stupid. Use that. Let them underestimate us until it's too late." His students listened carefully. They were all volunteers. People who had lost friends or family because of alien rules. People who had seen their businesses destroyed by alien taxes. People who wanted to fight back. "Strike fast," Kyung-ho continued. "Strike hard, and disappear before they know what hit them." On another hidden base, Nam-Su was working on something different. He used to be a diplomat like Wu Jin. He had spent years trying to make peace with the aliens. Now he was planning war. "Psychological warfare is just as important as real warfare," he told his team. "The aliens must learn to fear us. Fear is a powerful weapon." His team was creating messages that would be sent to alien worlds when the time came. Messages that would make the aliens understand that humans were not the weak species they thought. Back on Earth, President Yun-ho met with his war council. The room was deep underground, protected by the strongest shields human technology could build. "How much longer?" he asked. 2 more months, said General Hyojin. "Then we will be ready." "The aliens still suspect nothing?" "Nothing," Tejo confirmed through a video link. "Their spy networks have been compromised for months. They only see what we want them to see." "And what do they see?" the president asked. "A defeated species hiding on their home world. Human ships broken down in spaceports. Human colonies abandoned. They think we gave up. President Yan Ho stood up and walked to a window. He could see the stars above. Somewhere out there, aliens were dividing up what used to be human territory. They were making plans for a galaxy without humans. Sir? General He Jin asked. Are you having second thoughts? The president turned back to his advisors. No. They chose this path. We offered them friendship. We offered them partnership. They chose to treat us like animals. He sat back down. Continue with the preparations. In 2 months, the galaxy will learn what happens when you corner a human. Far away, in the Korthak Empire, something strange was happening. 3 more deep space monitoring stations had gone silent. No distress calls, no warnings. They just stopped reporting. General Vextar was worried. That makes 6 stations in 2 months, he told Graxon. Something is wrong. Probably equipment failure, Graxon said. Those stations are old. All 6 at different times in different sectors? Graxon looked annoyed. What are you suggesting? Maybe the humans didn't give up. Maybe they're planning something. Graxon laughed. Impossible. Our spies would have seen it. We monitor all human communications. We track all their ships. There's nothing to worry about. But Vextar was not convinced. He ordered more patrols in the outer systems. He told his ships to be extra careful. He had a feeling that something bad was coming. On the Villani homeworld, Merchant Queen Vel Ara was also getting strange reports. Ships carrying valuable cargo had started disappearing. Not many, just 1 or 2 every few weeks. But it was enough to notice. Pirates? She asked her security chief. No evidence of pirate activity, he replied. The ships just vanish. No wreckage, no survivors, no demands for ransom. Velora frowned. Increase security on all trade routes. Double the escort ships. Already done. But ma'am, there's something else. Some of our merchants are reporting strange energy readings in empty space, readings that don't match any known technology. Investigate it, Velora ordered. But deep down she was starting to worry. In the hidden human bases, the final preparations were being made. Weapons were loaded onto ships. Soldiers put on their armor. Computer specialists ran final tests on their virus programs. Tejo looked at the calendar on his wall. 8 weeks had passed since the meeting on Nexus Prime. 8 weeks of letting the aliens think they had won. Soon, he said to himself. Very soon. The galaxy was quiet, but it was the quiet before a storm. A storm that would change everything. The aliens had taught humans a lesson about power. Now humans were going to teach them a lesson about consequences. The attack came without warning. Commander Kyung-ho sat in the captain's chair of the human ship Silent Fury. Around him, his crew worked quietly at their stations. The ship was completely invisible to alien sensors. To the Korthak base ahead, they did not exist. Target confirmed, said his weapons officer, Lieutenant Jinsu. Korthak Military Base 77 Alpha. 3 battleships, 12 cruisers, 40 fighters. Kyung-ho nodded. 6 months ago he had been a peaceful trader. Now he was about to start a war. Other teams, report status. Team 2 in position. At Base 9-2 Beta, came a voice through the comm system. That was Captain Minho commanding the Shadow Strike. Team 3 ready at Base 4-4 Gamma, reported Captain Hyojin from the Dark Thunder. 3 bases, 3 surprise attacks, all happening at the same time. The aliens had no idea what was coming. Remember the plan, Kyung-ho said to all teams. Fast and clean. No survivors who can report what they saw. Make them think their own weapons turned against them. He looked at his crew. These people had families on Earth, they had dreams of peace. But the aliens had taken that away from them. Begin the attack, Kyung-ho ordered. The Silent Fury moved closer to the Korthak base. Its special engines made no sound and left no trail. The alien guards continued their normal patrols, seeing nothing. Virus upload ready, said his technical officer, Specialist Yoon Young. She was young but very smart with computers. I can take control of their defense systems. Do it, Kyung-ho said. Yoon Young's fingers moved quickly across her keyboard. Invisible signals reached out from the human ship to the alien base. The virus programs that Sora had designed slipped into the Korthak computer networks like ghosts. "I'm in," Yun Young reported. "I control their shields, weapons, and communication systems." At the same moment, the other two human ships were doing the same thing to their targets. The aliens had no idea that their own computers were now working for humans. "Lower their shields," Kyung-ho ordered. "Shields down," Yun Young confirmed. "Turn their defense guns toward their own ships." "Done. And open fire." The Korthak base suddenly came alive with explosions. The big defense guns that were supposed to protect the base started shooting at the Korthak ships instead. The aliens panicked. Warning sirens screamed through the base. "What's happening?" shouted the Korthak base commander through his radio. "Why are our guns shooting at us?" No one could answer him. The alien technicians tried to regain control of their systems, but Yun Young was too good. Every time they tried to fix something, she broke something else. "Launch fighters," the base commander ordered. But when the alien pilots tried to start their ships, nothing happened. Yun Young had locked down all their systems. "Sir," said one of the Korthak officers, "something is jamming our communications. We can't call for help." That was when Kyung-ho decided to show himself. "Take us in close," he told his pilot. "Let them see us." The silent fury appeared right in front of the main base like a magic trick. One moment there was empty space. The next moment a sleek black human ship was there. "Open a channel," Kyung-ho ordered. The face of the Korthak base commander appeared on the screen. His eyes were wide with shock and fear. "Commander Thokmar," Kyung-ho said calmly. "I am Commander Kyung-ho of the Earth Defense Force. You are now my prisoner." "Impossible!" Thokmar shouted. "Humans don't have ships like that. Our sensors would have detected you." "Your sensors are not as good as you thought," Kyung-ho replied. "Surrender now, and your people will live." "Never. Korthak warriors do not surrender to weak humans." Kyung-ho sighed. "Very well." He nodded to Jinsu. The weapons officer fired one shot from their new plasma cannon. The blast cut through the alien battleship like a hot knife through butter. The huge ship broke in half and exploded. The other, Korthak ships tried to fight back, but their weapons could not hit what they could not see. The human ship moved like a ghost, appearing and disappearing. Every time it fired, another alien ship died. In 10 minutes, it was over. The entire Korthak fleet was destroyed. The base was damaged but still there. Most of the alien crew was still alive. "Now," Kyung-ho said to the shocked base commander, "will you surrender?" Thokmar could only nod. At the same time, similar attacks were happening at the other two bases. Captain Minho and Captain Hyojin reported complete success. 3 major Korthak military bases had been captured or destroyed. Hundreds of alien ships were gone, and no one knew how it happened. Back on Earth, Nam-Soo sat in a communication center. He had been a diplomat, but now he had a different job. He was about to speak to the entire galaxy. "Are you ready?" asked the technician. Nam-Soo nodded. "Send the message to all alien worlds, all frequencies. Make sure everyone hears this." The message went out across space, reaching every planet and every ship in the galaxy. Nam-Soo's face appeared on screens everywhere. "People of the galaxy," he began. "This is Nam-Soo, speaking for the human race. Today, 3 Korthak military bases were destroyed by human forces. This is not a random attack. This is the beginning." On the Korthak homeworld, War Chief Grakzon watched the message with growing anger and fear. "6 months ago, you forced us out of the Galactic Council," Nam-Soo continued. "You said we were weak. You said we were stupid. You said we should know our place. Today, we show you what our place really is." The message included video from the attacks. It showed human ships appearing from nowhere. It showed alien defenses being turned against themselves. It showed the complete destruction of forces that the aliens thought were unbeatable. "This is impossible," Grakzon said to his officers. "Humans don't have this technology." But his officers had no answers. They were all thinking the same thing. If humans could do this to 3 bases, what else could they do? On the Vellani home, World Merchant Queen Velara was also watching. Her hands shook as she saw the alien ships being destroyed so easily. "How many ships do the humans have?" she asked her intelligence chief. We don't know, he replied. Our spies in human space have been silent for months. We thought they were just being careful. Now I think they might be dead. The message from Namsu continued. You wanted to see what humans do when diplomacy fails. You wanted to see what happens when you push us too far. You are about to learn. Across the galaxy, alien leaders were having emergency meetings. The small, weak human race that they had pushed around was suddenly destroying their best military forces. How is this possible? Asked the Zenthari High Queen. Where did they get these ships? Demanded the Morvac Council. What else can they do? Whispered the Acheron Elder. Back in space, Commander Kyung-ho was getting ready for the next phase. His ship had already left the destroyed Korthak base. Other human ships were moving to new targets. Sir, said his communications officer, we're getting messages from alien fleets across the galaxy. They're trying to coordinate a response. Let them try, Kyung-ho said. Yun-young, are you ready for the next part? The young computer specialist smiled. I've been practicing on their communication networks for weeks. I can make their entire fleet blind and deaf whenever you want. Do it now. Across 3 star systems, alien ships suddenly lost contact with each other. Their radios went silent. Their computer networks crashed. Ships that had been working together for years could no longer talk to each other. The Korthak Empire, which had controlled a quarter of the galaxy, was suddenly confused and helpless. Their admirals could not give orders. Their ships could not coordinate attacks. Their bases could not call for help. Sir, reported Jinsu, long-range sensors show alien ships trying to group together near the Korthak homeworld. How many? Kyung-ho asked. About 200 ships, all their biggest battleships. Kyung-ho thought about this. 200 ships was a lot. Before today, it would have been enough to conquer Earth easily. But things were different now. Send a message to all human ships, he ordered. Time for Phase 2. As Namsu's message ended, he had one final thing to say to the galaxy. You tried to cage us. You tried to break us. You tried to make us disappear. But humans have a saying, never corner a predator unless you're ready to become prey. Today, the hunt begins. The message ended, but its effect was just starting. Across the galaxy, alien species that had felt safe and powerful for thousands of years were suddenly afraid. The humans were no longer hiding, and they were much more dangerous than anyone had imagined. 3 days after the first attacks, the galaxy was in chaos. Alien leaders held emergency meetings on every major world. Military fleets that had been spread across thousands of systems were now racing toward their home planets. But they were too late. On Earth, in a secret room deep underground, Jinwoo studied reports from across the galaxy. He was the head of Earth's Black Operations Program. For years, people thought he was just a quiet government worker. They had no idea what he really did. Status report, Jinwoo said to his team. All sleeper agents are active, reported Agent Young-soo. We have people in every major alien government. Some of them have been there for over 10 years. The Korthak Empire? Admiral Technol is one of ours. He's been feeding us their military secrets since 2157. Jinwoo smiled. Admiral Technol was the Korthak's best military leader. The aliens trusted him completely. They had no idea he was actually a human agent with surgically changed appearance and memory implants. The Villani Consortium. Trade Minister Yelkotha. She controls their shipping routes. Every cargo manifest, every trade agreement, every business deal. We know about it before their own leaders do. And the others? The Zenthari High Command has 3 of our people. The Morvac Council has 2. Even the secretive Acheron Elders have one of our agents among them. Jinwoo looked at the big screen showing a map of the galaxy. Red dots marked alien military bases, but many of those red dots were actually controlled by human agents. How long have we been planning this? Asked a new agent who had just joined. The team. 15 years, Jinwoo replied. Ever since we first made contact with the galactic community, we knew this day might come. We prepared for it. While alien fleets rushed around in panic, Humanity was ready for the next phase. Captain Hayron stood on the bridge of the massive human battleship Indomitable. The ship was 10 times bigger than anything the aliens had ever seen humans build. "Fleet status?" she asked. 50 battleships ready," reported her first officer, Commander Bo Young. "Each one has enough firepower to destroy a planet." "And they still can't see us?" "No, ma'am. Our stealth technology is beyond anything they can imagine." The human fleet was positioned just outside the Nexus Prime system. This was the home of the Galactic Council, the most heavily defended place in the galaxy. But the aliens didn't know the humans were there. "Sir," said the science officer, Lieutenant Sung-min, "long-range sensors show over 300 alien ships defending the system, all their best vessels." Hayron nodded. "They're scared. Good. They should be." "Orders, ma'am." "Begin the demonstration." The Indomitable suddenly appeared in space right next to the largest alien battleship. The alien ship was a Korthak dreadnought called Death's Edge. It was supposed to be the most powerful warship in the galaxy. "Human ship," came a frantic radio message from the alien vessel. "How did you get so close? Our sensors showed nothing." "Your sensors are toys," Hayron replied calmly. "Watch and learn." She nodded to her weapons officer. Lieutenant Dalho pressed one button. A single shot from the Indomitable's main gun completely destroyed the alien dreadnought. The huge ship simply vanished in a ball of light. The alien fleet panicked. Ships scattered in all directions. But wherever they went, human ships appeared. Not just one or two ships, dozens of them, all appearing from nowhere like magic. "Impossible," shouted Admiral Gexthor from the Korthak command ship. "Humans don't have this technology." "We have much more than you think," came a new voice over the radio. It was President Yan-Ho himself, speaking from his command ship Earth's Pride. The president's ship was different from the others. It wasn't built for stealth or war. It was built to make a statement. Gold and silver covered its hull. Earth's flag flew proudly from its front section. "People of the galaxy," President Yan-Ho said, broadcasting to every world and every ship, "I am speaking to you from above your most sacred world. Your council chambers are below me. Your strongest fleets surround me. And yet, here I am, on Nexus Prime." The alien leaders watched in terror as human ships filled the sky above their capital city. Ships that had appeared from nowhere, ships that their best weapons could not touch. "How?" whispered the Zenthari High Queen. "We have been watching you for years," the president continued. "Learning from you, taking your technology and making it better. Much better." To prove his point, one of the human ships suddenly jumped across the system in the blink of an eye. It moved faster than any alien ship could travel, then it jumped back just as quickly. "Your fastest ships take 6 hours to cross this system," President Yan-Ho said. "Ours take 6 seconds." The alien leaders looked at each other in shock. Faster than light. Travel was the foundation of galactic civilization. Whoever controlled the fastest ships controlled trade, war, and politics. And now humans had ships that made everyone else look slow. "But we are not here just to show off," the president continued. "We are here to teach you a lesson about consequences." One by one, human ships began targeting alien military vessels. But these weren't random attacks. Each target was chosen carefully. Every shot sent a message. The silent death destroyed the Korthak flagship. The Stormbringer took out the Volani command vessel. The Night Hunter eliminated the Zenthari War Council ship. In minutes, the entire alien command structure was crippled. The species that had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years were suddenly leaderless and confused. "You see," President Yan-Ho said, "we learned something important during our 3 years as your prisoners. We learned that you are not as smart as you think, you are not as strong as you think, and you are definitely not as united as you think." To prove this point, Jin Wu activated sleeper agents across the galaxy. Suddenly, alien ships began turning on each other. Korthak vessels attacked Volani traders. Zenthari fighters fired on Morvac cruisers. "What's happening?" screamed War Chief Graxon from his homeworld. "Our people are fighting each other." reported his intelligence chief. It's like they've gone crazy. But it wasn't craziness. It was careful planning. The human agents had spent years learning how to turn the alien species against each other. Old grudges, ancient rivalries, religious differences, economic competition. Humans had studied it all. You always said humans were too emotional, President Yan Ho continued his broadcast. Too caring, too weak. But there's something you never understood about emotions. They can make you very, very dangerous when you're protecting something you love. More human ships appeared around important alien worlds, not to attack them but to show that they could. Every alien leader suddenly realized that their home planet was defenseless against this new human technology. We offered you partnership, the president said. You chose oppression. We offered you friendship. You chose hatred. We offered you peace. You chose war. Now you will live with the consequences. The first aliens to break were the Vellani. Merchant Queen Velara sent a desperate message to the human fleet. Please, she begged, we surrender. The Vellani Consortium formally surrenders to Earth. Have mercy on us. Smart choice, President Yan Ho replied. Your worlds will be spared, but your fleets will be disarmed and your trade routes will be controlled by human authorities. 3 other smaller species quickly followed. The Acheron Elders, the Morvac Council, and the Tethys Alliance all sent surrender messages within an hour. But the Korthak Empire refused to give up. War Chief Graxon was too proud to admit defeat. Korthak warriors do not surrender, he roared over the radio. We will fight to the last ship. As you wish, President Yan Ho said sadly. But understand this. You chose to continue this war. What happens next is on your hands, not ours. Captain Hayren received new orders from Earth Command. All units, prepare for the final phase. The Korthak Empire has chosen extinction over surrender. We will accommodate them. But even as the human fleet prepared for the final assault, something unexpected happened. Ships from other alien species, the ones that had surrendered, began moving to block the human advance. Human fleet, came a message from a Vellani captain. We cannot let you destroy an entire species. Even the Korthak deserve to live. President Yan Ho paused. This was something human planners had not expected. The aliens were willing to protect their former enemies from human revenge. Interesting, he said to his advisors. Perhaps there is hope for this galaxy after all. But the war was not over yet. The Korthak Empire still had thousands of ships and millions of soldiers, and they were gathering for one final desperate attack on Earth itself. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see what the humans would do next. 1 year had passed since the Great War ended. The galaxy looked very different now. Governor Dong-hyun stood on the observation deck of the space station orbiting the former Korthak homeworld. Below him, the planet that had once been the center of a mighty empire was slowly rebuilding. Human engineers worked alongside Korthak workers to repair the damage from the final battle. Status report, Dong-hyun said to his assistant, a young Korthak named Thekval. Food distribution is running smoothly, Thekval replied. Medical supplies have reached all the outer colonies. The new schools are opening next month. Dong-hyun nodded. It had taken months to convince the surviving Korthak that humans were not there to destroy them. After War Chief Graxon's final desperate attack on Earth had failed, many Korthak expected to be wiped out completely. Instead, humans had offered them something they never expected: a second chance. What about the resistance groups? Dong-hyun asked. Only 3 small groups remain. They hide in the outer mountains, but they're not really fighting anymore. Mostly they just steal food and supplies. Let them be for now, Dong-hyun said. When they see that we're not their enemies, they'll come around. This was the new human way of ruling. Not through fear or force, but through fairness and patience. It was very different from how the aliens had treated each other for thousands of years. On Luna, Earth's moon, a very different meeting was taking place. The new Galactic Council had moved there after Nexus Prime was damaged in the war. But this council was nothing like the old one. Ambassador Jimin sat at the head of a round table. Around her sat representatives from 12 different species. But unlike the old council, Where aliens had looked down on humans, now everyone listened when Jimin spoke. The trade route through the Andor system has been reopened, Jimin announced. All species can use it freely. The only requirement is that you register your cargo manifests with human customs. And the inspection fees? Asked the Villani representative nervously. There are no fees, Jimin replied. We only want to make sure no one is smuggling weapons or slaves. The alien delegates looked surprised. Under the old system, there had been fees for everything. Taxes on trade routes, permits for mining rights, bribes for government officials. The humans had eliminated all of that. What about the defense contract? Asked the Zenthari delegate. Any species that follows the new peace treaty will be protected by human forces, Jimin said, free of charge. This was perhaps the biggest change of all. Under the old system, weak species had to pay tribute to stronger ones for protection. Now human ships patrolled trade routes and protected colonies without asking for anything in return. But the most dramatic change was happening in space itself. Captain Sunghua piloted her patrol ship Vigilant through the same asteroid belt where human traders used to be attacked by alien pirates. Now those same asteroids were being mined by cooperative teams of humans and aliens working together. Captain, said her communications officer, Lieutenant Huan Su, we're getting a distress call from a Morvac cargo ship. They're under attack by raiders. Set course to intercept, Xinghua ordered. Maximum speed. The Vigilant jumped across space in seconds, appearing next to the cargo ship just as 3 pirate vessels were preparing to board it. The pirates took one look at the human patrol ship and immediately surrendered. This is Captain Xinghua of the Earth Defense Force, she announced over the radio. Release the cargo ship and prepare to be taken into custody. Please don't destroy us, begged the pirate leader. We surrender. No one is going to be destroyed, Xinghua replied calmly. You will be taken to the nearest human facility for processing. If this is your first offense, you'll be given job training and a chance to start over legally. This was another human innovation. Instead of executing criminals or throwing them into prison forever, humans tried to turn them into useful members of society. It was expensive and took time, but it worked better than the old, brutal methods. The Morvac cargo captain sent a grateful message. Thank you, human ship. You saved our lives and our cargo. Just doing our job, Sunghua replied. Safe travels. As her ship continued its patrol, Sunghua thought about how much had changed. A year ago, she had been a merchant marine officer on trading ships. Now she was helping to keep peace in a galaxy that had known only war and oppression for centuries. Back on Earth, in the same bunker where the war had been planned, a very different meeting was taking place. President Yan Ho sat with his advisors, but they were not planning attacks anymore. They were planning the future. The refugee resettlement program is ahead of schedule, reported Minister Jae Sung. Over 2 million displaced aliens have been given new homes on human worlds. Any problems? The president asked. A few cultural conflicts, but nothing serious. Most aliens are grateful for the help. What about the war crimes trials? Former War Chief Grakzon and his top officers have been sentenced to community service, said Justice Minister In-ho. They will spend 10 years helping to rebuild the worlds they destroyed. President Yan Ho nodded. Many aliens had expected humans to execute their former enemies. Instead, humans had chosen a different path. Even the worst criminals were given chances to make up for their past mistakes. Sir, said his military advisor, General Haya Jin, there's one more thing. The Galactic Historical Archive wants to record your thoughts on how we should handle our victory. The president looked thoughtful. What do you mean? They want to know what lessons we learned, what we want future generations to remember about this time. President Yan Ho stood up and walked to the window. He could see the lights of Seoul above them, a city full of people who had almost been destroyed by alien oppression, people who had chosen to forgive their enemies instead of destroying them. Tell them this, he said finally. Power without mercy is tyranny. Strength without compassion is evil. We didn't fight this war to become the new oppressors. We fought it to build something better. On the space station above the former Korthak world, the same conversation was happening in a very different way. Young Tekval, the Korthak assistant, was helping Governor Dong-hyun plan the opening ceremony for the new university. "Governor," Tekval said carefully, "may I ask you something?" "Of course." "Why did humans forgive us? We treated your people terribly for years. We laughed when you asked for help. We tried to destroy your entire species." Dong-hyun thought about this for a moment. "Because holding on to anger would have made us just like you used to be. We wanted to build something better than what came before. But weren't you afraid we would rebel again? Try to overthrow you?" "Some of our people were worried about that," Dong-hyun admitted. "But most of us believed that if we treated you fairly, you would become our allies instead of our enemies." "And were you right?" Dong-hyun smiled. "You tell me. Are you planning to rebel against human rule?" Tekval looked shocked. "No, never. You gave us food when we were starving. You gave us medicine when we were sick. You gave us hope when we thought our species was finished. Why would we rebel against that?" "That's your answer," Dong-hyun said. The ceremony for the new university took place a week later. Hundreds of alien students from dozens of worlds came to study alongside human professors. The university would teach science, medicine, engineering, and art. But most importantly, it would teach different species how to live together in peace. The opening speech was given by Ambassador Wu Jin, the same human who had delivered Earth's Declaration of Independence from the Galactic Council 2 years earlier. But his message now was very different. "We stand here today not as conquerors and conquered," he said to the mixed crowd of humans and aliens. "We stand here as partners in building a better galaxy. A galaxy where no species is considered superior to another. A galaxy where differences are celebrated, not punished." In the audience, alien students listened carefully. These young people had grown up hearing stories about the terrible humans who destroyed their armies. But the humans they met were teachers, doctors, and engineers who wanted to help them build better lives. As the ceremony ended, many people stayed to talk with each other. Humans and aliens, former enemies, discussing their plans for the future, working together on projects that would benefit everyone. High above them, human patrol ships continued their endless watch over trade routes and colonies. Not as overlords, demanding tribute, but as guardians protecting the innocent. The galaxy had learned a hard lesson about what happens when diplomacy fails. But it had also learned something else, that even after the worst conflicts, it was possible to build something better. The humans had kept their promise. They had not become the new tyrants. Instead, they had become the leaders the galaxy had always needed but never had. And in classrooms across hundreds of worlds, young aliens studied human history and tactics, not to defeat them, but to understand why they should never be underestimated again. The lesson was simple. Never back a human into a corner unless you're ready for what comes next, because what comes next might surprise you.